years, Real Madrid and Bayern Munich have been used to meeting each other in Champions League, with Real Madrid getting the best of Bayern Munich in 2023-24, and in 2018-19 they met in the semifinals, with Real Madrid advancing both times 4-3 on aggregate. In 2016-17, Real Madrid advanced 6-3 after extra time on aggregate in the quarterfinals, and in 2013-2014, Real Madrid advanced 5-0 on aggregate in the semifinals. So, JD, how much do you think Real Madrid's past success against Bayern is going to play into this matchup? Will history repeat itself this time?
I know everybody wants me to kind of pour into this nostalgia, but I'm still not quite there with Real Madrid. I know what my eyes are telling me, and I know what I'm seeing in terms of this team consistently. Yes, Manchester City were blown away across two legs, and that is a fair result in terms of what they were able to demonstrate. But this Bayern team is not Manchester City. This Bayern team is arguably the best team in Europe. They have demonstrated an element of consistency on both ends of the game that I don't think a lot of teams have been able to showcase this year. And we can talk about the nostalgia, we can do the 15 as much as you want, we can talk about the history of Real Madrid in this competition. I really do believe that Vincent Kompany's team will believe that they can go and win not only one leg, but two against this Real Madrid team and demonstrate as to why they are the pinnacle when it comes to European football right now. Because both on the ball, mentality-wise, consistency, players, individuals, what have Bayern not got the advantage in is the better question.
Sounds like you're not panicking too much. So how about we bring out that panic meter and see exactly where you fall here on Bayern Munich's chances to advance to the semifinals?
This is going to upset a lot of people, but I actually think it's going to be a stroll.
Ooh.
The only reason why it potentially won't be a stroll is, and maybe leaning towards cooking, and maybe you could give it towards cooking just a little bit, is because of the return of Kylian Mbappe, who, as an individual in this game, you know, is going to always have some sort of, I would say, demonstration as to why his brilliance is at the top of world football. But I can't move away from the fact that this team just put 10 past a very good team in Italy. Just put 10 past them. And they were also managing the minutes of Harry Kane, Micheal Olise, Jamal Musiala, Serge Gnabry. The list goes on. Like, what are we talking about here? This is the best team in Europe. So I don't believe they're going to go to the Bernabeu with any fear whatsoever that they can't go out there and demonstrate that they are the best.
You guys agree with this?
Yeah, no one goes to the Bernabeu, I don't think, with fear. They come out with fear, right, after what happens in the place. That's the problem with that. Yeah, what was the one you picked?
I put cooking.
So, in the middle.
I would have went tough test, and I still think Bayern goes through, right? And I mentioned earlier that I had Bayern going all the way to the final and winning, but I don't think it'll be easy. There's just something about this competition for Real Madrid.
All right, well, lots of storylines to look ahead to this one. So, Jeff, what are you looking at coming into this matchup?
Revenge. 2024. When you look back at what happened, the goal that was disallowed, you're in injury time. Bayern need a goal, and it's Matthias Lipp gets to the ball in the back of the net, flag goes up, and the ref blows straight away. Bad protocol by both the linesman and also the referee means it can't go to VAR. They were 13 minutes into injury time. There was only 9 minutes put up. Thomas Tuchel, the manager at the time, said the referee's assistant, or the linesman as I call them still, apologised afterwards. This will still be burning in the minds of Bayern Munich as an absolute injustice. I mean, they've got all the motivation they need anyway to win the Champions League. This will only add to it.
I went to a matchup. I went to Luis Díaz against Trent Alexander-Arnold, right? Two guys that obviously know each other, probably trained, I don't know how many days together on the training ground. Trent Alexander-Arnold, obviously injuries this year. They both left Liverpool at the same time. Luis Díaz, who at two clubs now. First when he got to Liverpool, then when he gets to Bayern Munich, hit the ground running. You know how they say you need time to adjust at your new clubs? He didn't need time.
He doesn't need any adjustment whatsoever.
Just drop him out of a helicopter and put him in the game, and he knows how to play. But the intriguing part, Claudia, is the dribbling ability of Luis Díaz and Trent Alexander-Arnold not being known to be very good 1v1 defender. People have spoken about the tactical part of that of his game. I put that more on the manager than I do Trent Alexander-Arnold being asked to play a certain way. I'm looking at the ability of Luis Díaz with the ball at his feet and the challenge that Trent Alexander-Arnold is going to have defending Luis Díaz for 90 or 180 minutes.
I mean, Lucho Díaz is, look at those numbers, first of all. Is what we call in almost a double-double. Like, he's almost got 20 assists and 20 goals already past it and already 38. I don't want to say Trent is going to be barbecue chicken, but at the same time, he's still warming into, I would say, getting up to full fitness within this season because of the stop-start, because of the muscular injuries that he's had this year. That's not the type of player you want to be playing against when you're not 100% fit, because he is different. He is different in terms of his industry. He works both ways, and he's so clinical in the final third now. And that edge, in terms of clinical in the final third, is going to be my decider, because it's the battle with the number 9s. I just spoke about Mbappe coming back into form and, most importantly, coming back into fitness. But one person who hasn't missed a beat at all this year is Harry Edward Kane. And we know him really well, right, in terms of what he's able to demonstrate. And I give him his full name because when we talk about world-class players, all of a sudden you want to give him that Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Well, we need to start talking about Harry Kane in that same trajectory, because he is the embodiment of consistency. And when I look at also, and shout out to the production team who told me in my ear that Real Madrid have conceded the most goals to number 9s in terms of out-and-out forwards this year in Europe, what's remained left in this competition. I fear for them when they see this guy, because not only has he got a point to prove, not only does he want to add that trophy to his cabinet, but you just spoke about it, Jeff, revenge. He was on that pitch in 2020 when you robbed him clearly of an opportunity to add to his trophy cabinet. I don't want to see this guy with any sort of bit in between his teeth, because you're telling me he averages a goal and an assist every 60 minutes? Forget about it. There's going to be goals from Harry Kane in this competition. He's going to remind everybody again as to why he's not only going to have a great 2026, but he's probably going to win the Champions League this year.
I said, even when he was at Tottenham, I said, I don't think we appreciate, certainly we didn't in England, how good a footballer Harry Kane is.
Ridiculous, man.
Because he was playing at a club that wasn't challenging for any honours whatsoever, he still put up ludicrous numbers. And now he's just on a different level. I genuinely don't think he gets the appreciation he deserves. He is a top-class footballer.
Are people in England now giving him a little bit more credit, watching him in the Bundesliga and see what he's doing?
I think we all knew low-key that he was obviously sensational, but when you go and see him do it in a top team with other world-class players and he's still the standout, I think there's no conversation as to, now we're starting to have him the appreciation for the Ballon d'Or conversations and him being, of course, probably the best number 9 in world football. All
right, well, let's go position by position and players and intangibles, and let's see who has the edge here. Tony, I'm going to go to you here for defense and goalkeeper, which a big thing that coming into this right now is Thibaut Courtois. He'll be out for a while because of a thigh injury. He did come out of the game yesterday.
Throughout my research, because my whole segment went out the window.
But that is massive breaking news.
But that's both number 1s out now. Yes, both number 1s struggling.
But Neuer is training, right? Neuer's back training, and Vincent Kompany said the reason he didn't play was yesterday because he was worried about the fitness part of it, right? But he's going to be back.
He's Tony, listen, this is your specialist subject. Do you agree Thibaut Courtois is the best goalkeeper in the world?
I just did this whole segment on Thibaut Courtois playing, and now I find out 15 minutes ago that he's
let me help you.
Throw it all
There's Tony's notes.
So when you look at, let's just look at defensively. Trent Alexander-Arnold will go the way they played yesterday and this week. Rudiger, Huijsen, the young center back who I really like, and Fran Garcia. I don't know if it's going to be Paredes or Mendy on the left if he comes back. Both defenses have had issues, right? You look at Neuer, we're assuming, right, it's going to be the goalkeeper. Stanisic, Kim, Jonathan Tah, the 2 center backs. Kim has been a little bit of a liability, right? So when you're thinking about Mbappe in the matchup, that's where you would go. And then Bischoff on the left-hand side. I was doing this all on the fact that Thibaut Courtois, for me, as Jeff just said, I think is the best goalkeeper in the world. And in Champions League, he has stood on his head time and time again. Ask Liverpool fans a couple of years ago. I mean, it happened. But now that he's out and it's Lunin, I'm going to have to change I'm going to the organization of Bayern Munich and the experience of Manuel Neuer as in that category. 15 minutes ago, it was a different conversation for me. Now it's Bayern Munich.
Oh, wow. All right. So that changes things here. How about midfield, Jeff? Who's got the edge in this one?
Midfield, it's interesting with Real Madrid because they've reverted to a 4-4-2 of sorts, the way that they play now. They've changed the way they play. So you think with Camavinga, Tchouameni, Valverde, and then probably Jude back in as well. And you've still got the likes of Gula in reserve. What they don't have is a Toni Kroos who can sit in front of the back four and play the diags. But there's something about there's a dynamism about the way their midfield is functioning right now. They are very, very good indeed. But the thing is, Bayern Munich, I think they've got about 5 number 10s that can play there. So, and it's how it links. So you're probably going to go Kimmich, Pavlovic, the youngster, who's been absolutely fabulous. Musiala is like a different player now. So if you're taking the 10 as either Gnabry or Carl as well. The other thing as well, with their midfield players can all play fullback as well. It's almost like a leftover from the Pep days.
So all of that said, who are you picking? Real Madrid or Bayern at the end of the day for midfield? Who's got the edge there?
Bayern.
Bayern.
Bayern,
right.
Because I love the way that they can interchange. Listen, and when we say who you picking, this is a hair's breadth of a pick, and it will so easily be wrong. I just think that kind of Real Madrid have stumbled upon their formation, whereas Bayern's feels like a plan.
All right, attack. You're smirking over here. You've been smirking a lot throughout the show. You're smirking here. We got Bayern with the edge with defense and goalkeeper. Bayern got the edge in midfield. How about attack? I have a feeling I know where you're going to go.
Well, it's simple. Like, Kane and Mbappe will level each other out because that's the best 2 forwards in world football, right? So both will probably score in this tie. Both will have an impact at some points. So you could level those 2 out as 2 great number 9s who are going to be great number 9s. It's everything else that I see. And there's no disrespect to Vinny, because I think Vinny is fantastic. I think the form that he's had under Arbeloa has been great. But Micheal Olise has been another level this year. So he has to get the nod in terms of what he's produced on a consistent basis. And then we just spoke about Lucha Díaz. It doesn't really matter who you have on the opposite side. You can have any of the Real Madrid attacking quartet. It's no disrespect to any of them. But that is the best front 3 in world football. When you have Kane, Olise and Díaz, I don't think there's a conversation to be had. So I think Bayern have been showcase who they are. So it's Bayern attack all the way through. Now, this is going to be better, though, because I like the world-class players. Now we can start to have a conversation unraveling, because as much as we can talk about, we can give the nod to defense, midfield, attack, and even goalkeeper. World-class players can still impact any game as an individual, right? And both teams have them. So that's fair.
Tony, what do you think?
This sets up for a Real Madrid win, right? When we see all of this. Yeah, when you talk about world-class players for me, and everyone has a different definition, right? Mine is a guy that, they normally play well. But a guy like Mbappe, a guy like Vinny Jr., they could be out of a game for 88 minutes. And in one instance, change the game, right? And these guys can do this. Right? They can flip a game on its head. When you talk about, Valverde, another guy that can step into any game in the entire world and flip the game on its head from his position. Doesn't necessarily, it's been goals lately, doesn't necessarily have to be goals, just change the game in that position. I give that edge to Real Madrid.
Okay, how about intangibles? JayDee, you're writing...
I'm just writing down the amount of world-class players I think at Real Madrid.
Should I call you Liam Rossinha?
I give them. That's all right. You can call me Liam Rossinha. That make me Chelsea manager. You can give me the wages as well if you want to. I think Real Madrid have 4 world-class players. I think the 3 you alluded to, and I also would put Courtois naturally in there if he plays, but Bellingham too. So that makes 5. I think Bayern probably have at least 4 in their front 4 in terms of Musiala, Díaz. So that takes out 4 right there. And then I still think. Actually, you know what? There probably isn't. Kimmich is on the boundary. But would I put him in the same conversation as a Valverde, or what I see as an individual? Kimmich gives me something completely different.
Different type of player, but equally as effective.
Equally as effective.
So do you guys agree world-class players go to Real Madrid?
So I believe that we probably could give it to Real Madrid just because of the sheer factor. And I'm trying to squeeze Jude in there because Jude has to prove that he's world-class in terms of producing trophies for his team. But intangibles, this is where I'm going to give credence to my brother right here, who turned around and reminded me that there was something special about the Bernabeu, right? And there was something special about that aura and that arena, and when you walk in there, you have to be up here mentally ready. So we can talk about the incredible, the Allianz Arena, and that's true. That is a phenomenon in its own right. But Santiago Bernabeu, that you know, as well as when you walk in there, it has a different aura. Even as a broadcaster, when you walk in there, you can feel the hairs on your arms stand up immediately. So the intangibles probably do go to the 15-time champion, right?
Okay, Madrid.
Yeah?
You guys agree with that?
You agree?
Jeff looks divided.
He looks like he's going back and forth.
I just think there is a calmness a serenity around Vincent Kompany and the way he marshals his team. And I just think there's something about, he has an aura, a quiet aura that he has, that he will be able to guide this team through it.
All right, well, for those of you guys that are watching on YouTube, let us know if you think that we got it right or if you've got some other arguments for us to sway it the other way.
Thanks for watching this video from Morning Footy. For all news and insights regarding leagues around the world like EFL, Serie A, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount+.